Hello and welcome to another tank review. I'm Totalwar and today we're going to be looking at the Panther 8.8, the Tier 8 Premium German medium tank. Introduced in the 9.5 patch, this tank will set you back roughly $35 or 7,300 gold, meaning it is one of the cheaper Tier 8 premium tanks out there. Its main competition being the STA2 and the AMX CDC. Today I will be going over the pros and cons to this tank, to go ahead and give you a better purchasing decision, see if this tank is the correct fit for you. Germany does have two Tier 10 medium tanks, being the Leopard 1 and the E50M. So if you do have either of those tanks, or are grinding up to them, and you want to train your crew while making money, this is a great buy for you. Although it will be said that there are currently in the game two other German medium tanks, those being the Panther M10 and the Panzer 4S, which both do have 5 crew members as well, meaning that there are other tanks that can do the job of training the crews. Mostly comes down to at what tier do you want to train your crews, 6, 7, or 8. And like other premium tanks, it does get increased credit and experience multipliers. The Panther 8.8 is very similar to the Tier 8 German medium tank, the Panther 2. The Panther 8.8 really only has one major advantage, that being the gun. The gun being an 8.8 cm L71. The same gun that is on the Panther 2. Now both guns do have the same penetration and average damage, being 203 penetration with the standard rounds, 237 penetration with its AP composite rigid, and 240 average damage. While they do have the same gun, the soft stats are a little bit different in favor of the Panther 8.8. Rate of fire being 8.7 versus 8.22 on the Panther 2. The Panther 8.8 also comes ahead in dispersion and aiming time, having 0.32 dispersion and 2.5 aiming time, versus the Panther 2's 0.34 dispersion and 2.7 aim time. This means the Panther 8.8 is able to hit targets more accurately and more often due to the aim time and the rate of fire. Although this does not come without its consequences. Instead of getting the Panther 2's armor, it unfortunately does get the Panther 1's. Meaning you only get 80 whole armor at the front rather than 100, 50 at the sides rather than 60, with the rear being the same. Your turret does stay as thick as the Panther 2's, but is a little bit bigger, as you see here. With the whole armor being thinner, the tank is considerably lighter, although this is compensated with a smaller engine of only 600 horsepower, giving a lower top speed of only 46 km per hour versus the 55 that was on the Panther 2. The Panther 8.8 also has a very respectable 390 view range, but a very lacking 550 signal range, versus most other Tier 8s, including premiums, getting 700 plus. The traverse speed is quite good, with 38 degrees a second, and 32 degrees a second for the turret. It's able to point its gun around quicker than the Panther 2. Gun depression is sadly only 5 degrees, versus the Panther 2 that has 8, or the AMX CDC and STA2 that have 10. You do hear me comparing this tank to the Panther 2 a lot. That really is because this pretty much is a Panther 2 with a better gun, but worse armor. And that's pretty much the best thing that can be said about this tank. So if you do like the Panther 2, or you like the idea of the Panther 2, this tank will fit perfectly in your playstyle and will do amazing for you. Firstly, if you don't know anything about the Panther 2, and you're thinking about going down that line, this tank would give you a very good preview into what that line is like. As for equipment, I do recommend vertical stabilizer, medium caliber tank gun rammer, and improved ventilations, with coated optics and enhanced gun lane drives as good alternatives. For crew skills, I recommend Sixth Sense, Camouflage, and either situational awareness or recon to increase your view range. Because of the size of the tank, it doesn't come away with a very good camera rating to begin with, so you do want to compensate that in any way you can, as you do tend to use this more as a secondary line sniper. And here we are, our first game on Serene Coast. This is a Tier 9 game, so we are smack dab in the middle of the matchmaker. We do have some very good support, so we're going to get up there, get an early aggressive position. Our T-49's doing a really good job of spotting them before they even get position, so we have a good idea of what's coming at us. At the last second, the T-49 spots a very sneaky Leopard prototype, just barely missing him. He really could have wrecked him with his gun. Leopard prototype not having much armor, and that T-49's gun able to do a lot of damage to lightly armored targets. Our Object 432 is being a bit aggressive here. He doesn't have much gun depression, but he's a very low silhouette. Right here you are seeing our gun depression of only 5 degrees, just being a bit lacking. And our T-49 takes a big hit from artillery there. And something that really does compound the problem of only having 5 degrees of gun depression is because of the height of the tank, you really do need to expose quite a bit of the tank to get over small crests like I'm doing now. So I let the Object 432 go over first. He's got better armor, he takes a few shots. After which, while they're reloading, we're able to go ahead and go over and get a nice shot to the IS-3. Meanwhile, our backup did arrive of the M103 and the IS. And the Leopard prototype takes a nasty hit from our T-49. Our eastern flank is outnumbered, but they are holding quite well. Our artillery hits their IS-3, while their artillery just barely misses our IS. We are wiggling back and forth. We don't want to give artillery an easy shot at us. Checking to see what support we got. Waiting on one of our heavy tanks to go ahead and push over so we can support them. But it looks like they're just not having any of it. The IS-3 is able to sneak a shot into our IS. So while he's reloading, we're going to see if we can poke over and hit him. No, we just took a little bit too long. Got out of position on that one. Finally, we decide enough's enough. If we have to, we'll lead the charge, since our top tier heavies don't seem to want to. Just as we start to, it seems like the Object 432 has the same idea as we did, and is able to take out their IS-3. We rush the Leopard prototype, we're able to put a good shot into him, and a second shot before he's able to reload and hit us. Our team comes over, goes ahead and puts a nail in his coffin, and we're going to continue. Now that we're finally over, we don't want to lose the momentum, so we're going to keep leading the charge. Now, while we were all waiting on that corner, luckily our other side was able to hold well. Props to them, they did a really good job. Our VK4502A and our M46 Patton. Going over this bump, we did spot a T69, put a shot at him, try to keep his head down, and we continue into cover. Came in at the Tiger 1. Sadly, that shot was only able to track him. Doesn't look like he's looking at us, so we're gonna go ahead and put a second shot into him. Dance a little bit. We definitely have his attention now, just barely missing his second shot. We're able to put our second shot nicely into him. And our AMX-1375 is able to go ahead and take him out. Meanwhile, M103 was able to take out their Type 69, and we put a speculative shot at the E-75. Now, at that range, we would never have hit his cupola, but we were seeing if we can go ahead and get him to back off. Sadly, he does hold his ground. We're just waiting for our opportunity to try to get out of our position because we really don't want to be face first into an E-75. This is an engagement we really just can't win. So as soon as we see him fire, we get the hell out of there. Now we're going to go ahead and try to flank around, see if we can get some better shots from the side. Make better use of our tank. Now the Panther 8.8 is able to get up to its top speed quickly, and as you saw, we're able to go over small bumps and relatively keep that top speed. We take a shot on the move, trying to hit the M41 Walker Bulldog. We're not going to stop, we're not going to try to make any well-aimed shots until we get relatively close and into these tier 9s and get them distracted. But the E-75 does fall before we get into position. Although we do arrive in time to get some good, juicy side shots at this Yak Tiger. And we're able to track him with our second shot. With our very good reload, we're able to keep him tracked, make sure he doesn't move, and our team takes him out. That leaves just one E-75 left on the peninsula. Most of our team is rushing to go ahead and try to get him. We're just going to sit here on cap, farm some capture points before the game ends, as we won't be able to get to the E-75 in time. From here, it's just a matter of time of waiting for the E-75 to die, or for us to cap first. We did cap before the E-75 went down, and we did place second on our team for damage with 2,003, behind the Object 430 version 2. We also did 1,300 assisted damage, making 78k profit. Here we are on the first of 2 Redshire replays. Trying to get position here behind the trees on the top of this ridge. Hopefully it'll give us a nice vantage point for the most of the battle. Our 1375 spots a G2 in the open in the middle of the map, trying to go down the main road. We're going to see if we can get some shots in on him. Using our quick aim time, we're able to get a nice shot in on him. Seeing if we can reload in time to take him out, and we do. At this point, a T-71 starts a suicide charge, trying to see if we can get a shot in on him as quickly as possible, see if we can take him out before he spots too many of our tanks. And he just keeps going and going. Distracted, we do get caught by surprise by an AT-15 from our reverse spot on the map. See if we can get back up and get some shots in on this T-71, who's still on a mad dash to spot our tanks. We're able to get our first shot in on him, and he is just dodging everything. RNG is just loving him today. Not liking us, as we miss our second shot on him. Finally, we were able to take out the T-71. But unfortunately, he was spotting us, and the KV-85 was able to put a good shot into us, damaging our ammo rack. We're going to get that back up. See if we can get a revenge shot in on him. And we're able to connect. Now he's starting to think twice about what he's doing. Put another shot in there, just in case he's still there. Won't know if that hit till the after action. Meanwhile, we do spot another KV-85. Double brush here so we won't get spotted if we shoot. We're able to get one shot in on him. Our team is really putting the hurt on him. Second shot, putting him on very low health. And he's able to get behind a building. I doubt he's going to come out anytime soon. Looking at the minimap, we are losing the eastern flank, so we are going to have to help out there pretty soon. And, yep, there we go. The T-29 is quite far deep into our territory. Need to move forward a little bit to get him into our render range. Send our first shot downrange, see if we can get him to stop advancing. Looks like it worked. It looks like he's starting to back off between us and our allies, putting shots around him. We're able to connect to him very luckily, seeing not that much of a side of his tank. Our gun depression showing here again. We're not quite able to get our gun down. He has to go a little bit farther up the mountain in order to get it down. And as we're trying to get in position, a T-32 does go ahead and appear. So we're going to adjust our attention here, see if we can get some shots. And that's when a KV-4 and an IS-6 appear. Take a snapshot of the KV-4. Unfortunately, it goes right into the chimney in front of him. Looking for another shot, but he is behind the buildings. So we are going to shift our attention to this IS-6. Sadly, our shot doesn't connect, as we did rush that one a little bit as well. We're going to back up a little bit here, see if we can get some more concealments between us and them. We don't want to get caught out in the open. We do have to be careful that AT-15 can still shoot us from the side. Our T-37's got him busy at the moment, but we don't know how much longer we can stay up here and before he shifts attention back to us. Waiting for the KV-4 to get up behind the building. And we're able to connect a shot when he was going between the buildings. Now the T-32 does appear, but the KV-4 is a bit slower, so we're going to focus on him, make sure our shots do count. Still putting some nice side shots in on him. He's not paying much attention to us. Now that he's behind the building, we're going to shift our attention to that T-32. Sadly, our shot goes right into his tracks, and he's taken out of the game before we're able to get another shot into him. Looking for targets, but everything's behind buildings, so we just have to sit here and wait. During that time, they're able to take out our T-32. We do spot the T-29 advancing, take a shot, and luckily we were able to take him out. Right now we are ahead by 3 in the kills, so still a close game. We bounce off the front of the KV-4, not the best shot. Now that they have fallen off radar, we're going to back up again, just to make sure that we do stay hidden. Their armor is a lot better than ours, so not being spotted is our best defense at the moment. Waiting patiently for them to get bored and start advancing. And it looks like the IS-6 is advancing. Let's see if we can get a shot in on him between these gaps. Unfortunately, he falls off the radar, so we weren't able to see if that one did connect. We're just going to have to wait till he pops back up. And there he is. Still on full health, so we weren't able to penetrate him that time. And sadly, our second shot isn't able to penetrate him either. Let's see if we can do some actual damage. There we go. We're able to hit his driver's hatch there. He starts backing off. Going over that bump does increase the angle of his frontal armor, so our third shot also advances. We take a hit from the KV-13. Luckily it bounces, but the IS-6 is able to connect with us. And it looks like our turret still backing off, making sure we do fall off their radar. Do see a side shot on the jumbo. We're able to put one into him. See if we can put in a second. He does go behind a rock, but luckily our team's able to take him out. Now, during these exchanges, our team has been capping, so we're going to go ahead and win this one. We stalled them for as long as we needed to. Rounding that one out, we did take first in damage with 3,017. With 26 shots, only 22 of those hitting, and even less, only 14 penetrating. We were also able to take out 3 tanks and do 471 spotting damage, rounding us out with 71,000 credits and 2.6k experience. Here we are back on Red Sire. This time we did spawn on the other side of the map. This time we're going to go ahead and get to the opposite position as we did last time. Unlike other medium tanks, you are seeing our tanks struggle a little bit to get up this hill. Our power to rate ratio not being so good on steep inclines. And as we get into position, you are seeing our gun depression is a little bit lacking here. We do have to back off. And we do see an AMX CDC. We're able to put a nice shot in on him before he's even able to notice that he's spotted. Now we're just waiting for the rest of our team to get in position. Hopefully get some spots off for us. Again, we do use this tank as more of a secondary line sniper, so we don't want to be at the very front of our team. Something on this side of the map that you will notice is there is a lot less foliage, so that means if I do go out on the top here to negate my gun depression disadvantage, I will be out in the open and they will be able to hit me a lot easier. And our Ferdinand is pushing our Nashorn. I had actually forgotten that did happen as a replay. It took me by surprise as well. Just sitting here waiting for something to pop up. Now, if this isn't your type of playstyle, you're not very patient, this tank may not be the one for you. Again, you are more of a second line sniper. You're not going to be out in the front. You know, you're not going to be dogfighting or anything like that. It does require a little bit of a tank destroyer's kind of mindset. Now, that doesn't mean you always have to drop that role. When you need to, you definitely can get stuck in with this tank. Now, I did skip forward just a little bit here. There was a lot of waiting. Not a lot happening. We're trying to see if we can get a sneaky shot to this Challenger. Sadly, it barely misses. But now the battle is progressing a lot quicker. We are getting pushed on our western flank, so we will be very quickly redeploying over there. Where it looks like our Indian Panzer is holding off an IF-6 and an Achilles. Unfortunately, we do auto-aim there, which means our shot does fall a little bit short. Our second shot is spot on as we are now manually aiming it. Trying to thread our second shot in here, but unfortunately the Achilles keeps ducking behind cover. Try to shoot him as he comes out behind cover. We're just a tad behind on the aim reticle there. But we are able to lead the next shot and get a nice hit on him. Now we're going to shift our attention to the IS-6, and we're able to nail his driver's hatch. He does turn a little bit sideways on. We're going to try to hit his shoulder there. Goes a little bit low into his tracks. The next one is able to go into his shoulder, leaving him on very low health. Due to his distance, our shots aren't hitting quite where we're aiming. We are missing some. and our teammate's able to take him out before our next shot's able to get downrange. With that flank a little bit more secure, we're able to push up a little bit now. Our heavy tanks still are entrenched in a pretty bad brawl, looks like, down there. And some gold round rage in chat there. Pop up over the hill there, see if we can see anything. Doesn't look like anything's out there. So for now, we're gonna go ahead and see if we can help out our heavies. Bad driving skills showing right there as we hit the rock. And just as we were repositioning, our SU-122 rushes headlong into the enemy. We're able to get a first shot in the T-25 too. Our SU-122 taking a big pounding there. Try to get this T-25-2 out of the game, so at least one less guy shooting at him. But our SU-122 falls before we're able to do that. Trying to see if we can get this T-25-2 before he escapes. Be able to get one more shot into him before he disappears. See if we tracked him. Sadly that one misses, so the T-25-2 gets to live a little bit longer. Staying up here, seeing if they go ahead and pop up again. But after that, I don't think they're going to be coming out of cover anytime soon. Now we're able to adjust our attention and help out our other SU-122. We got an SU-152 advancing on him. Looks like he has almost got him dead, so see if we can just get the nail in his coffin. And we bounce off his engine deck. 203mm of penetration right there, folks. But our SU-122 is able to take him out. Waiting just a few seconds longer, seeing if they pop up again. Doesn't look like it, so we're going to go ahead and do what we were originally going to try to do and help out our heavy tanks. Sadly, the battle hasn't been going so well over there. Looking around, seeing which targets are out in the open, see who we can hit. An AMX CDC rushes out, our first shot misses. See if we can get him with our second shot. And we're able to get our first kill of the game. The Challenger reappears. And our nice aim time means we can take him out, getting our second kill of the game. Our WZ-111 and our Nashorn should be able to take out that Tiger too. Now in this game, I was on my medium tank mission 15, so I am nicely and politely asking in chat, hey, do you guys mind if I get those last 2 tank destroyers, since I've already gotten 1? And the mission prerequisite is, kill 3 tank destroyers and win the game. Now of course, I don't expect them to give it to me, so I am going to go ahead and advance and see if I can take them before they have a chance to. I'm able to spot the T-25-2. Sadly, my shot does miss as he does just barely get behind cover. He is advancing quite quickly towards our SU-122, so I need to build up some speed, close the gap, and get to him before he gets to the SU-122. Our T-37 does at this time decide to finally start pushing up as well. Unfortunately, had a video editing error there. Did delete the ending part of this game, so getting back into it. Our SU-12 did miss the T-25-2. Getting in real close here, and we're able to take him out before the SU-12 reloads. So that's our second tank destroyer kill. Put a shot to try to keep the SU-100Y's head down. And it doesn't work, he's able to put a nice juicy shot into us. We're able to track him with our next shot, and get around the side of him. From here, it's just making sure that we don't get in front of his gun again. Get between us, our light tank, and the SU-100Y. And see if our reload time's fast enough before he's able to get his gun on us. And we land our third tank destroyer kill. Ending the game with 2,700 damage and 4 kills. Just shy of our GW Tiger P with 3.1k. With 28 shots fired, 20 hits, and only 14 penetrations, as we were having a little bit of a long-range battle for most of that game. We were able to walk away with 64,000 credit profit, ending with 1338 untripled experience. Now ammo is quite cheap for this tank, so even with 28 shots fired, we only spent 7k in ammo resupply. And there you have it, the Panther 8.8, a very strong all-around tank with a good gun. When used correctly, it can easily devastate your opponents. Personally, I do like the AMX CDC a little bit better. It does fit my playstyle a little bit more. Although, if you are the more patient type, the Panther 8.8 will be a better fit for you. Not to mention, if you can't stand the AMX CDC's lack of armor, while the Panther 8.8 doesn't have a lot of it, you still can pull off some miracle bounces, especially against lower tiers. And when compared to its Panther 2 counterpart, it does come away quite strong in its own regards. This has been Totalwar, reviewing the Panther 8.8. As always, if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, leave them down below. Like the video if you like it, and subscribe for more tank reviews. I'll see you next time.